Let me know if I'm putting it too loud for that. Bills, I might go back. She put it on my tab. Bills ain't no turning back. Keep on vibing, running laps. Bills, I might go back. She put it on my tab. Bills ain't no turning back. Keep on vibing, running laps. She hit me up like we should talk more. I'm on that track, I wanna talk more. I want it all, that's what these bands for. That's what we pay for. Don't pick it up. Throwing all this money in a rush. I just so they know it at a shot. I mean, like she wanna be with us. Stop it, you ain't getting up with us. Bills on my back. She put it on my tab. Bills ain't no turning back. Keep on vibing, running laps. Bills on my back. She put it on my tab. Bills ain't no turning back. Keep on vibing, running laps.
Yo, what it do, man? We on another episode of Tapping In with Takeover, man. We got a special guest. I'm going to let him introduce himself, the GOAT himself.
I go by OG Baby. What's up? What's up?
Man, you already know OG, man. So I'm going to just get right into it. That song you just played, bro, is real different. And me knowing you for the time I know you, like that type of sound, that kind of explains who you are as an artist, but could you kind of go into depth of like who you are as an artist, like what type of sounds you be trying to achieve, like what type of style of music? Because it's definitely different, not what we used to.
Yeah. You know, a lot of the sounds I try to achieve are like the sounds that like I really listen to. You know, like I make music that I listen to, which is like the alternative stuff. I listen to rock music, but like I love hip hop. Like I can't stay away from the hip hop either. You know what I mean? So like that's why like my bag has like a good mix. You know what I mean? Like I like the EDM shit. You know what I mean? Like I love a lot of jazz. You know, like so like really like everything like I try to do is like what would I play in my car? You know what I mean? Like,
So is that considered like EDM? That's like EDM.
You know, honestly, I'm not too sure exactly where that falls.
Okay,
I feel like it's it's like got some alternative vibes. It kind of does have some EDM vibes with like some of the synths. Like I feel like it's a blending, because then even the way like I feel like I put together the lyrics is like it kind of like if you could put like a hip hop beat over that, and it probably still, you know what I mean? Because like I still use a lot of the slang. I still use, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so it's it's a blending. Like yeah, it's a blending.
So let's get into it, bro. Like, I want to know where you from. Like, where you from originally?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What was your upbringing like? You know, where you from and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was born in Jersey, but
Jersey. Okay.
yeah. I lived out there until I was like 7 though, and then I came out here. So
okay. So you basically from Florida.
Yeah.
So what?
I consider myself Florida.
So like, what's some schools you went to? Elementary, middle school, like.
Shit, I went to Gateway.
Gateway.
Yeah, that's pretty much damn near where Gateway, 6 Mile.
6 Mile. Okay.
Cypress for high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's pretty much yeah.
So
I didn't move around too much, and then
like, what's some inspiration or what's some people you remember like listening to coming up early up? Like, what was OG Baby listening to coming up from New Jersey, moving to Fort Myers, getting used to the culture as a kid? Like, what's some of those sounds you start hearing? Like, okay, I'm in Florida for real.
Yeah, damn. What was all right, so like starting like coming out here, like I listen to what my parents listen to, a lot of that, but a lot of that's like the Biggies, the Nas's, the Jays, all that good stuff. But then you come out here and then you hear like Hot Boys, you hear Plies, like you hear Frank Liddy, because like at the time the music was so regional,
right?
Like it was really like a divide, So like, yeah. I just remember just hearing a bunch of stuff like that, like Iceberg.
Hmm.
Iceberg was going crazy when I was younger. Um,
So who inspired you? Cause your sound different. Like who would you say like I look up to this person as an artist? Like
as an artist, oof. If we're talking like hip hop, I'm gonna say like a Wiz Khalifa
Wiz
probably.
Khalifa.
You know what I mean? Like,
I see the Wiz Khalifa vibes.
yeah. We talking hip hop, like him, Currency, you know, Mac. I fuck with Mac Miller.
Matt Miller for sure.
Yeah. Like that's like my high school time. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
when I was like smoking a lot of weed and stuff for the first time. Like that's what
Right.
I was bumping. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like I said, like a lot of stuff like that. But then if we're talking like alternative, like a lot of Depeche Mode. I fuck with Radiohead. Um, Shoot, man, I be blanking whenever I be trying to think of like all the old stuff. But then also, like I love that like old school R&B. Like that stuff that your mom be having on when you
Yeah,
clean the
yeah,
house.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like
For
I love
sure. The
that type of stuff too.
TLCs,
Yeah,
the
you know
old
what I mean?
'90s R&B,
Yeah, all
shit like
that.
that.
Like even the '80s and '70s. You know what I mean? Like Alexander O'Neal and shit like that. Like like I like all that.
So a question I did have for you, bro. What is it like being the type of artist you are in the I don't know, I would say a very biased area as far as the type of music we like to listen to, like 239 Fort Myers area, like it's real goon, it's real gangster, it's
Yeah,
a lot of trap, it's a lot of motion now, a lot of motion music. Like, how do you feel? Because I feel like your genre and your type of artist, I feel like y'all be left out a lot, like or overlooked. I wouldn't even say left out, but just overlooked because
yeah.
Fort Myers and South Florida itself generally got a certain sound that everybody trying to hear. So artists who be way different, way almost in another genre, they don't get as much love. Like, so how you feel? Like how you navigate through the politics, having different music, being in Fort Myers and stuff like that.
Um, you know that like it definitely is a thing, but I feel like I do get a lot of love from people, because like believe it or not, a lot of people do listen to that different stuff. It might not be on what they put out, but like when they're alone in their car, like they might play something like that. You know what I mean? It's something different just to change up the vibe. But really, like how I navigate is like I tell myself like this music is bigger than it's bigger than the city, and I don't want to say like I'm bigger than the city,
Nah, but you're
but
right though.
and that's what it should be for every artist,
Nah, for every artist.
yeah, like it should be bigger than the city for every artist. Like I'm not just saying that like, oh, I'm bigger
Nah,
than the
you
city.
right.
I
You
mean
right.
like I feel like if you go out and do something somewhere else, and you'll get so much love. Like, you know what I mean? Like when I went to Atlanta, we did a showcase out there.
Right.
Yo, hella love out there.
Right.
Even in Miami or like the Tampas or some of the bigger cities, on where they're like more used to it. You know,
Right.
you get hella love out there. And I feel like people be so worried about the city and stuff. That's just like like I love my city. I want my city to fuck with me, but I'm gonna give them a reason to go fuck with me. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go do something like so
Nah, facts.
yeah. I don't know. I just take it for what it is.
So I want to know like how you balance being an engineer and now like really diving deep because I'm used to OG Baby. Everybody who know from the area, they used to OG Baby being the magnificent engineer from Track Out. Really
Yeah,
like the face of Track Out Studios, which is like a pioneer studio in Southwest Florida area. Like for you to balance coming from being a engineer, like how do you balance it? Being an engineer, being an artist as well, like what I see, you don't really interfere in artist sessions, so you don't try to tell them how to
yeah.
record. Like,
You know
so
what I
how do
mean?
you kind of separate the two? Like being and then like when you get into artist mode, are you straight artist mode or what?
Yeah. Well, I use both. I think of like as an artist, what do I want my engineer to do? And
Right,
I definitely don't want them telling me what the fuck to do.
right,
You know what I mean?
right, right.
Like, like if I ask you, that's a different story. But
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Just like engineer the shit, bro. Like,
yeah,
so like I try to think of it like that, and when I do it, but really like a lot of balance, like on how I manage both. Like it's either like a lot of late nights. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
I wrap up a session, and I'm like, fucking, I'm gonna lock in.
right,
It's a lot of that, but really, I have a solid team here.
right,
For those that do know, I got Pizzo, I got Steve, I got Brian, I got Quest. Like we have a bunch of people here who also engineer, and
Right.
they've really stepped up and kind of like eased the workload for me. You know what I mean? And like
So I want to
made it
know.
possible to do this.
Not my bad. I didn't mean to cut you
Oh,
off.
nah, you good.
So I want to know like what made you go like say, man, I'm finna really focus, go hard on my music, like, cause you've been on the crazy run, like you've been traveling.
Yeah.
You've been like, what made you say, man, I'm about to really lock in on my music right now, like.
You know, it's just the fact that I never really did it before. It's like you said, like you always see me in the chair or whatever. Like, um, you know, I put myself on the back burner a lot of times, like to build the business, you know, to just help other people and to, you know, like really like push others, like you know what I mean.
Facts.
So like you know, and to get good at my craft for my music, you know what I mean.
Right.
So you know, like there was a huge like a learning curve, but I never fully like went in before. Like I've been doing this for a long time, and I would say most of my accolades are from engineering, you
Mhm.
know. But like, it's time for me to get some like off my music, you know what I mean? So I
Nah,
just
facts.
had to
It's time
like,
to let the world hear what you got.
yeah.
Um, so like, you being around, during the 239 takeover and really like being like a backbone in the movement as far as us, production wise and recording all our music here. How you feel about the 239 takeover? Like, as far as, was it a good thing for the artists? Like, what did you see that you like? Like, what was some positives and stuff that you got from it?
Man, the 239 takeover, bro, like it was lit. Like there's a lot of positive things that really could have came from it. Like I feel like just bringing everyone together. You know, like I ain't never seen so many different people like in here at once. You know what I mean? Like from all different sides. You know what I mean? And it's cool. You know.
Right.
Um, so I think that's huge, and it provided a lot of opportunities for people. A lot of people had their first performance ever
Right.
at the 239 takeover. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Right. Right.
and that's something that people like dream of. You know what I mean? To just
Right. I
get a
think it put
show
a
somewhere.
spotlight on
Like,
a lot of artists that I didn't know myself personally,
yeah,
and I know you probably didn't know, but I feel like it put a spotlight on artists that's talented, that kind of needed like a spotlight for them.
exactly. You know, like, and like it taught them how to be in the room with other artists. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like sharing a space and not letting egos get in the way. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
like waiting your turn. Like, I know a lot of people will just be ready to go, but like, you
Right.
know what I mean? Like,
Right. So
um,
so so you definitely feel like it was good for the artist development and stuff like that. For
yeah. I
sure. For
really do
sure.
feel like it's good. I also do feel like a lot of people had unrealistic expectations for y'all.
Okay.
You know,
Let's get into it.
which was a little unfair.
Let's get into it.
You
Like
know,
what? Like, cause I felt the same way. Like, so like
um,
a lot of artists felt like
they feel like you're
if
like a label.
yeah, and I could have blew him up super big.
Yeah, you
And
know,
I wish I was Birdman, bro.
of
I wish
course,
I would.
like,
But it's like I feel like the expectation was high though. It is
yeah.
crazy how entitled we are as artists, because it's like the expectation is so high when we ain't never even had nothing like this before.
You know
So
what
it's
I
like
mean?
just for us to have the little bit we had, you feel me?
Yeah, and it's really supposed to be a platform to help your career. Like, this is not the platform that's gonna make your career. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's a piece of it, and I feel like people was expecting like a label work out of y'all. You know
Right,
what I
right,
mean?
right,
Like, oh,
right.
they're not pushing us. Like, bro, they share it when they do, or like give them something to share. Like, y'all ain't had a song in how many months?
Yep.
No video. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Taking all these breaks, but at the same time, there were things that could have also been done better too.
On our end, for sure.
Yeah.
And I
You
feel
know what I
like that's
mean?
just part of growing and
Of
being,
course,
yeah.
but like it's the first year. You know what I
Facts,
mean? So of
facts,
course, not everything's gonna be in place and proper just yet. You know what I mean? Like,
facts.
it takes time. It's trial and error. You got to figure it out. So that's
Facts. So I seen you doing some traveling. Like, what's some spots you went to this year? Like, how was it and shit like that?
shit, man. I went to Denver. I went to Jersey, New York. I went to what the fuck I went? I went to Arizona.
So
I
what's
think,
the love like when you go into different cities? Like what's the vibes like? How do you feel like?
bruh, it's love because like they're not used to they're not used to the way we talk out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and even then, like I would say, like I don't have like a huge like Florida accent, but when I'm other places, they tell me I
They can
sound like,
tell.
oh yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so and the music scenes are different out there. Like, they don't have a bunch of stuff that we have here.
Right.
So to go there, you're gonna like stand out. You know what I mean? To go to a lot of these places, like you're gonna stand out. And maybe not in like New York, or I mean, like not. I mean,
Even
bro,
New
like
York,
even as a Florida boy in New York, like
you a
you're gonna
Florida boy
stand
with
out.
wigs, you
You know
gonna
what I mean?
stand out.
Exactly. So
you know, and that's the main thing. Like, you know, I was just like, I was walking around. I think I was gonna go get some cologne or something. And I'm in
Yeah.
the store, and the lady's like, "Oh, where y'all from?" She's like, I know you guys aren't from here. You know what I mean? She's like,
Yeah,
I could
facts.
tell. You know, so just like being able to stand out, and they just, you know,
Facts.
it makes a difference.
So what's your goals like moving forward, man? Like, what's some things you're trying to accomplish with your career? Like where you trying to get? Where you trying to take this thing to?
Hey man, I'm trying to go all the way, man.
All the way to the top.
All the way, bro. I got, I got big dreams, not just for my artistry, but for the people around me, my production,
Right.
you know. Um, I wanna start a label eventually, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I am gonna do a label,
Yeah.
track out records. But that's
Okay.
not yet. That's not yet. You
Yeah,
know
yeah.
what I mean?
On the way though.
Yeah, 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 but like I wanna make sure I'm done with my artist stuff first. Cause like,
Yeah.
I always tell people like if you don't want your manager or the people who run you to also be an artist,
Right, 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 right.
because it's like if they're gonna put themselves in a position before you or
Right,
whatever, you
right.
know what I mean? I mean, maybe not, I mean, like maybe
I
your,
feel
your
like
people
I feel
solid,
like me.
but
I feel like I can relate to you because I feel like even with me, like with the 239 takeover, I had to put AG Lottie to the side a little bit, kind of
yeah,
to be like, okay, I know I'm an artist, damn near in my prime, still kind of like making
of
some of the
course,
best of
yeah,
my
yeah,
music, and I'm like, but I took the time to kind of put other people in front of me. Um, but I feel like, man, I did it just because I feel like we stronger together. I feel like that
yeah,
make me. I feel like everybody make AG Lottie bigger. You
of
know what I'm saying?
course,
Or everybody being together make OG bigger. You feel me? Like
exactly,
if we start mobbing and supporting each other, I feel like it make everybody bigger. You feel me?
yeah, and taking the time to just build your team,
Right.
because like I don't care what nobody says. Like a lot of people, like I did this like all by myself. Like I like
You need a team.
yeah, like I don't believe
You
that.
can't
Like
do
yo, you
nothing
need a
without a
team,
team.
bro. Like
Everybody who's successful got a team.
yeah, for real.
Nah, that's big. All right, man. So we was tapping in with that boy OG, baby, man.
Yes,
Let them
sir.
know
Yes,
where they can
sir.
find you at, bro.
Yeah, man. OG Baby 97 on Instagram. OG Baby underscore DLC on Twitter X. Whatever the fuck. But yeah, yeah.
Most deaf, man. We look forward to seeing what you got coming up, bro.
Yes, sir. I look forward to showing y'all, man.
All right, for sure.